In this episode of EnjoyRC, I'm going to take some stuff out of this box, unwrap it, and then show you lots of B-roll footage. In my search for cool, rare, vintage, limited edition, special RC car parts, cars, chassis, body shells, whatever, I often end up on Yahoo Auctions. So Yahoo Auctions is basically like a Japanese version of eBay. It's an auction site where you can buy both new and second-hand stuff for sale on auction. And it is an absolute goldmine when you're looking for vintage or rare Japanese RC car parts. For example, the fluorescent parts here on my Tamiya TA01, most of them are sourced from Yahoo Auctions as well. I'm not going to show you this car in this video, maybe in another one. Let me know if you want to see more about it. But for now, for today, I'm going to show you what's inside this box that arrived this morning. So pretty much every day I'm looking through the Japanese auctions to find stuff that's either on my wish list or some deals that are too good to pass up. So this box is basically 2 months worth, 2-3 months worth of stuff that I've been accumulating in one of the warehouses of the proxy websites that you use to buy stuff from Yahoo Auctions. And in this video we're just going to look through what is all the stuff that I bought, give you maybe some inside information on some things, and yeah, let's have a look. Let me put aside my TA01. And then also move the box aside because it's kind of blocking the view, right? It's heavy, so that's a good sign. Right, I got a knife and some scissors, and let's dig into the box and maybe start with the most obvious one first. I'm sure you can already tell that this is a body shell. Yeah, let's just quickly open it up and see what's inside. So one really good thing about ordering from Yahoo Auctions and from also the proxy websites that you order through, what they're really good at is packaging. So there's plenty of bubble wrap, very strong cardboard boxes, and I haven't seen anything arrive even a little bit scratched up or dented. So whenever you buy anything there, you're almost guaranteed to have your stuff arriving in one piece, which is very good, especially if you're ordering rare and vintage stuff like I am usually. Right, so first thing, body shell. I don't know if you can really see it. That's always the problem with trying to film clear body shells. But what this is, and yeah, it's missing the spoiler, but it was cheap and it wasn't the main reason why I bought it. This is a Cross Toyota TS020, TS020, whatever you want to call it, GT1 body shell. It's not the Tamiya, it's a little bit wider, a little bit longer, but it's made for the same kind of chassis, so either a Tamiya Group C or an F103 LM or a converted Formula 1, whatever, any of those LMP cars, this will fit. And it is actually a very detailed body for the time. So this was made somewhere in the 90s. It looks really good, the lines are nice and sharp. I might have to figure out something for the rear spoiler because it's not here in the kit. Also no stickers, no masking, whatever, but I don't really need that if I'm going to build something. I do have a Group C that came from one of the previous Yahoo auction orders that arrived. I also actually made a video about that I haven't showed you yet because it was basically way too long to edit and I got bored halfway through, but hopefully I'll get to it and then you can retrospectively see my Group C chassis as well. Right, so but the main reason why I bought this lot, because this was basically one auction, is this Cross Group C interior. What it is a single-seater interior with either a closed or with both a closed and an open face helmet and this vacuum formed polystyrene interior. It's not super detailed, but it will look awesome once it's installed in one of the body shells. So yeah, that's the first thing. Let's move on to the next. So next up, let's take a few things out of the box at the same time because they sort of belong in the same category, and then I can show you everything in one go. Let's go through all of these wheels quickly. We'll start here on my left side because it goes from cool to cooler to very cool. So what this is a set of limited edition, as far as I know, I'm not 100% sure, of pink dish wheels for touring cars from Tamiya. Nothing really special, but I mainly bought them for the tires, which are, let's see, medium narrow racing slicks. So what these are, just some not very special 24mm racing tires from Tamiya, and I'm going to use these for one of my touring car chassis. So that's why I've been buying a bunch of these wheels, is because normally all of the chassis that I have, they get hidden underneath a body shell. They get wheels that match to the body shell, not necessarily the chassis. But lately I've been building a few cars that actually look so good, I want to display them just as the chassis. And then what I need is some set of matching wheels to go with it. So the pink ones, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with them. I have a TRF 414 that these might look very good on. The tires, they're definitely going to go on one of these wheels here, because these will fit all of these racing wheels. So it's going to look great on the shelf with Tamiya wheels, Tamiya tires, and then also a Tamiya chassis. Next up, unfortunately it's just a pair, but these are the Toyota Tom's Levin wheels from Tamiya, and they're very similar to some other style wheels that Tamiya makes, but they have slight differences that make these unique for the Tom's Levin. And as you might have heard in one of my previous videos, I mostly collect Toyota body shells, so these will look awesome on one of the cars, and hopefully I can find the second set so I can start building it. Next up, also something that I collect a lot, you saw the fluorescent colored TAO1 earlier, is strange, oddball, limited edition colored Tamiya parts. So these are two limited edition sets of Mini Cooper wheels for the M chassis from Tamiya. Originally the auction was for a set of 4 of the blue ones, because the red ones I've seen before. The blue ones, they are a little bit more rare, I think. At least I haven't seen them as much. The set was for 4, but after winning the auction I got an email saying like, oh, we only got 2. Do you want maybe the red ones instead? Whatever, sure. And incidentally, this is also the Tamiya color, so I'm thinking that maybe that's something cool I can do with them. Either way, some more limited edition colored plastics added to my collection. Next up, this is a set of drift wheels from Speedway Pal. There's 3 different pairs. So these are similar, they're different offsets. I don't know if you can really see it because they're black, it might not show up great on the camera, but these are mesh wheels from Speedway Pal. They look sort of like SSR reverse mesh or Formula mesh wheels. They have 2 different offsets. I don't know if they're printed on here, otherwise I can find it in the auction. As far as I remember, it's 7mm, so with a bit of lip on the wheel, and 10mm offset, so a bit more dish or lip on the wheel. So these are a set of 4 that belong together, and then also there's these also 10mm offset, I think. Speedway Pal also 37R wheels, so they look like TE37s, the famous 6-spoke wheels from Volk Racing and Race, and yeah, they came with the set. Cool thing about them is that these are not manufactured anymore, and they're a very popular set of wheels for drift cars, so either I'm going to keep them or I'm going to sell them, I'm not sure, but they were too good to pass up. You get some of these deals sometimes in Yahoo, so I have another set of discontinued wheels, so that's great. Moving on to some of the cooler ones. These are, as you can tell from the tag, also limited edition. They are Tamiya wheels. I have a TB Evo 3 Surikarn, which is the special red version of the TB Evo 3. I put some black Tamiya dish wheels on them, also limited edition before, but these are actually cooler because they are carbon fiber reinforced plastic. So they have the same look as the suspension arms and a few other molded carbon fiber reinforced plastic parts that Tamiya does. So I think these will actually look much better on the chassis. So these are definitely for some of the display chassis. And then the last one, like I said, I collect strange, odd color Tamiya plastics. Some of the things they've done in the 90s is release a bunch of parts, wheels, and complete chassis in transparent colors, in clear plastics. And I think everyone by now everyone by now knows the clear transparent wheels. They re-released some of them also, but one that you rarely ever see are these pink or red transparent wheels. So these are pretty special. They also made a pink or red, whatever you want to call it, transparent gear case set for the TB Evolution 4, which I'm still trying to find. I have all of the other colors, transparent, blue and smoke, but the pink ones, they seem to be the hardest to find, so I'm very happy at least I got the wheels. So yeah, this is a bunch of wheels for my collection. Things that you never have enough of is wheels, so yeah, let's move on to the next thing. The next one is a quick one. Let me take it out of the box. And let me tell you that I'm saving the best thing for last, so keep watching till the end of this video if you want to see the coolest thing that I bought with this shipment. So this is the next thing. Really quick, small little package. And I don't even need my knife because the bubble wrap just tears apart. These are shocks, as you can see, or dampers, whatever you want to call them. And they are transparent. So this is very cool. Like I said, to me, I used to make some clear plastic, some transparent parts for some of their chassis in the 90s. One thing they did is the dampers, and they actually re-released the set for, I think, one of the M chassis, like the MO5 Pro or something. But these are slightly different because these actually have ball connectors instead of a step screw. So that's the difference between the vintage ones and the re-release ones. These are the vintage ones. They look in very good condition. They come with some TRF springs. It looks like they might have been used, or at least they're a bit dusty. I'm not sure yet what they're going to go on, but since I have been collecting all of the clear plastic ones, it's good to have an extra set of dampers. So yeah, that's the dampers. Let's move on to the next thing in the box. So the next thing is also a quick one. Like the dampers, let me quickly unpack these and then I'll show you what it is. Right, my previous video was about the Kawada M24R, and I mentioned in there that I have a bunch of Kawada chassis and wheels and also parts and some on the way. This is what I was referring to. There's also another shipment on its way with more Kawada stuff, but this is the only thing Kawada in this shipment, and it is a lowering set or set of damper. Well, they're not really shock towers, but I think they're shock tower reinforcers. They add a little bit of different options for the Tamiya TA01 and TA02, which I have a bunch of. So these will probably find their way onto one of the cars, maybe even the fluorescent one you saw before. But yeah, cool little extra thing to add to my collection. Next. Now we're almost getting to the bottom of the box. Like I said, I saved the best thing for last. I have one more thing before that. Let me take it out of the box. Let's see, anything else? Here we go. I think that should be it. Alright, so like I said, I have a bunch of chassis that I want to put on display. In the previous years, usually what I did was just collect all of the parts, some rare upgrades. The thing I never really focused on is electrics. Now though, I have these really beautiful chassis that I want to put on display, and I'm kind of bummed that they're completely empty, no electronics, no motors, nothing in there. So I ended up buying a bunch of electronics for it. So let me quickly unwrap these and then we'll go over them one by one. So I bought 3 speed controllers, 3 ESCs and 1 motor. It's attached to the speed controller. I didn't really go for the motor. I actually went for this ESC. That's why I bought this lot. Back in the days in the late 90s, early 2000s, of which most of my touring cars are from, the 2 best brands you could have for speed controllers were definitely either Keyence, but it never really made its way here in Europe, and Copropo. So actually these are the 2 brands that I bought some stuff from. First of all, this one. This is a Copropo VFS2, which stands for Variable Frequency System, and the VSF series was known as one of the best ESCs, the best speed controllers you could get for your touring cars. This one actually, it has been used, all of these speed controllers have been used, which means that they came pretty cheap. but they all look in very, very good condition, so they won't look out of place in a brand new chassis. These are barely scratched at all. You can probably, you know, clean them up a little bit more. I'm going to change the wires on all of them, or probably most of them, so they will have brand new wires, which will probably make them look even better. So this one, the VSF2, it's a nice one. As far as the auction set, all three of them also work, so if I wanted to, I can actually start racing some of my touring cars, which might be cool. All I need now is actually a vintage class for touring cars that are not Tamiya's. Who knows, maybe it will come sometime. And then the motor is a T-Max VS2 23 turn stock motor. Has a Yokomo end bell. I'm not sure exactly which brand this is. T-Max, I've never heard of it, but it's from Japan, so it's probably something maybe local. Either way, a 23 turn motor is very awesome, and if I look through the end bell, it looks like the COM on the motor is actually pretty much brand new. It looks almost untouched, barely run in, so that's great. So this motor will actually work really well in one of my cars. Next one, this one is a Keyence with a bunch of spaghetti wire around it. Here we go. So this is the Keyence EX Straight ESC. It's cool because it's blue, so it will match with some of the Tamiya chassis that I have. And again, Keyence, they were one of the best, and they still actually are. It's called Accuvans now, but in the drifting world, they are the best ESCs. And this one was also known as a very good one. Again, I'll change the wires. I'll probably clean it up a little bit, but this one also looks pretty much brand new. There's not a scratch on here, so that's great. And then the last one, and this is the coolest one of the set. This is also a Co-Propo ESC, but it's not branded as such. It is branded as a Tamiya ESC. And this is the, I think maybe this is one of the rarest Tamiya ESCs available. This is the TRF 2002 ESC. What it is inside is also a Co-Propo VSF. I think this is the VSF1 or the VSF 2000. Again, in really good condition. This one does have a few scratches on there, but it will go in my TB Evo 3 Surikarn with also a Surikarn motor, so it will be completely appropriate for the time, and it will look absolutely awesome. Right, this is the electronics. Let's get to the last thing in my shipment. I saved the best for last. It's inside this box with some beautiful Japanese stamps on them. Let me take it out. A little bit more bubble wrap to get through, but you can probably sort of see what it is already. Here we go. So this is really cool. What this is a Nissan S13 body shell by Cross, and not just any S13, but this is the Japanese touring car version with the wide body kit, and it's been built as a complete replica of the car that used to race back in the Japanese touring car series. It is a little bit beaten, but the good thing, the fortunate thing, is that there are absolutely no cracks in this body shell. The only thing it has is a few scratches, and the livery has been painted on. There's a few bleeds here and there, but it actually looks really good, and I'm sure I can fix this up and make this into a very pretty replica. Another good thing about this, and this body shell is one that I actually wanted for a long time. Some people used to have it as a drift body shell, and it always hurt me a little bit when I saw them beat it up, because it's actually quite rare. But another cool thing about this is what's underneath. It wasn't just the body shell. Underneath is a first generation, so this is the very first version of the HPI RS4 chassis, and it's in brand new condition. I think this thing has never run. The body shell definitely has run. There's some scratches on the roof. It's definitely been crashed a few times. The tires too, they're worn, the wheels are worn, but the chassis itself looks absolutely brand new. So yeah, you can tell there's no scratches on the bottom or anything. It also comes with some electronics. It has a Sanwa receiver, Sanwa ESC. This is the Vortex 212HF. It's pretty big, so I don't think this is one of the high-end ESCs, but more like the mid-grade. And then also it has a Sanwa servo, so everything is Sanwa on this except for the motor, and I cannot really tell what it is. It is bright orange, which is kind of cool and unusual. It doesn't actually say on it, so I'll probably have to take it out at some point to see what exactly it is, but this is the very first version of the RS4. You can tell because it has a belt drive front drivetrain, but the back is actually a closed gearbox. And this is only on the very first version of the RS4. Every later model, even just a normal RS4, has a different rear gearbox. So it's cool to have the very first version of it, and it's in perfect condition. Comes with some aluminium shocks. Yeah, everything's adjustable on it. I see it has universal drive shafts, but plastic, with plastic yokes. So that is interesting, and it seems like it also still has some sort of slipper clutch on it. So you can definitely tell this is a very early version of a touring car. Cool thing about the RS4 is that it's pretty much the very first touring car that ever came out in this layout. Tamiya were the people who made touring cars into what it is now with the TA01. They were the first in that scale, and it was a massive hit. But the first people who actually made it competitive and into more of a racing chassis were HPI with this RS4. So it's another piece of touring car history that I have. Everything is unpacked out of the box, and I have a bunch of new stuff to play with. I hope you enjoyed watching this sort of unboxing video, and if there's anything in here that you would like to see more of, please let me know. I also have another shipment on its way from Japan with a bunch of other cool stuff, so if you like this video, let me know, then I'll make another one for the next shipment. And in the meantime, if you want to see more stuff, follow me on Instagram, which is @EnjoyRC_Thijs. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.